Hey guys, the new exhaust is on and everything's working great. What is the next step? Well, for me it was going to be taking it into the shop and getting a dyno tune. That's turning out to be a really expensive endeavor though, so I did the next best thing. I sent my ECU out for flashing and I just got it back. So if you want to find out how that went, stick around. Alright guys, before we get into the ECU flash, I just want to catch you up to how we arrived at today. I had always intended to do a stock dyno run, get the new pipes, do a tune session, and then get a final dyno run. Some of that's worked out. I did get the stock dyno run, and I've already made a video about that, and already made a video about putting on the new pipes, and those are fantastic. But I was going to go take it down to MD Racing's Motorcycle Repair and Performance and get a dyno tune done. But the price on that just kind of kept creeping up. I talked with the owner and he wanted me to pay for a number of harnesses that were needed to do the ECU flash, and it was really getting to be out of hand in terms of cost. So I was going to end up spending right around $650 by the time it was all said and done. Labor, all these harnesses, the bin file, and all this other stuff. So I started looking for other options because that was just really not going to work for me. That's more than what I paid for the pipes. So I started looking in forums, and one of the forums, the Ninja 1000 forum, which I subscribe to, is got a lot of really great information. And those guys turned me on to a company called Two Wheel Dyno Works in Kirkland, Washington. That is a long ways away from me, but they do offer a mail-in ECU flashing program, and that's what I took advantage of. So when you go to Two Wheel Dyno Works website, you just simply put in, your make, model, and year of your motorcycle, and then that'll show you what's available in terms of their mail-in service. In the case of the 2018 Ninja, they have one. You send it in, it costs roughly $315, plus you have to pay for shipping out there. They cover the cost shipping it back. But you get custom IAP fuel maps, custom TPS fuel maps, custom ignition timing maps, custom ignition dwell maps, custom secondary throttle plate opening maps, and they also adjust the RPM limiters. They adjust when the fan kicks in, disable the stock O2 sensor, disable the fuel cut, and disable the pair valve. Now, as far as I know, these are good things, and people talk about doing them all the time, and they cover the Black Widow exhaust. When I emailed them, they explained the whole process to me. Seemed like a pretty good deal compared to the $650 I was facing. So off it went. I shipped it overnight, which cost a lot of money actually, and shipped it to them. They got it on Thursday. They had it back out to me by Thursday night, and I received it Saturday. Okay, so that catches you up to today. I popped the ECU back in the bike, started it up, made sure there was no error messages when I did the startup. The ECU is located, by the way, underneath the rear seat. You kind of need to take the rear end apart a little bit to get at it easy, but it can be extracted and put back in without tearing the bike apart. It's just really hard, and it takes some small hands or skinny fingers like I have to get in there. The easiest way to get at it, though, is to go ahead and remove the tail section, like if you were going to put a tail tidy on or something like that. The ECU just drops down in that plastic tray, and it's very easy to get at. So I went out for a ride, and this is how that went. I'm going to go out and take it for a test ride right now. Some of the things I'm going to be looking for are throttle response. I'm going to try and see what the fuel economy looks like. I'm going to try and see what the exhaust is doing on deceleration. But once I put it in, I was kind of like, wow, how am I going to determine whether or not this was a good thing or not? So I have no way to know if it's running lean or running rich, or if it's just right. So we're gonna see how it feels and go from there. Right away, I noticed that it is easier to take off in first gear than it was before. So that's a positive thing. A little pop there between second and third gear. That's one thing I'm not sure. I was kind of under the impression that disabling all of the emission stuff would prevent the popping and crackling, but I kind of feel like that's not the case. But that's something I'm going to pose to people out on the forum. Still does quite a lot of popping and crackling on when I let off, so that has not been resolved. I don't know that I care that much. It kind of sounds cool, but I don't know if that indicates that the bike is running lean, or if it's running rich, or if it's just nothing to worry about. Then I don't care, but I'll be real interested to see what kind of feedback you guys give me. Throttle response is much better. Much better. That on-off throttle is much better than I remember. I mean, I don't think it's completely gone, but it is. It's a lot smoother. But you can definitely hear it. Well, hopefully you can hear it popping on D-cell. So I don't know. I don't know if that's a problem or not. So I'm sure that's something we're going to be discussing on the forums and on in comments below. Yeah, that is popping like crazy on D-cell. I don't know. That is probably not a good thing. Just a guess, but I'll wait for somebody to tell me. Well, it shows 84 degrees out. I don't know how accurate that is. It's pretty humid out today though, so I will note that the temperature gauge is, I'm going to see how close I can get to it. The temperature gauge is reading 2 bars below full, which when I'm just sitting at idle like this, that would normally be pegged or pretty close, within 1 bar. So I'm going to say it's running cooler than normal. Got the helmet on, I'm listening to music, so I can't really hear the fan, but I assume it's running. It's mostly, yeah, see, it's popping in between gear, well, in between second and third. Other than that, it's not, and it really is, I don't know, it just did it between third and fourth. So I don't know if that's a problem or not. So that's something I want to get out in a video soon, just so I can get some discussion on it, because my knowledge is pretty limited here. I'm not exactly sure what I need to be looking for. Throttle response is definitely better. I would say the engine braking is slightly less. I don't know. It's not as, you know, jerky when you let go of the throttle. So I mean, it's definitely engine braking, but it's not as severe as it was before. All the popping and crackling though is what's concerning me. If it wasn't for that, I would say this was good. I don't know if that's a result of the emissions stuff being turned off, or if I should have expected it to go away. with the emissions turned off, because it did crackle a little bit, not as bad as this when I first put the exhaust on. I'm gonna run it out to the highway here and just see if I can't run it out a little bit and see what it does. That was exciting. All right, well, I guess that's it, guys. I guess feels pretty good. My concern with this ECU flash at this point is all the popping and crackling that's happening on deceleration and the backfiring that's occurring when I'm running it through the gears. So, well, there you have it. I'm not sure if I'm completely sold on this ECU flash at this point. There was a ton of crackling and popping and backfiring happen when I was running it up through the gears. I suspect that's a bad thing, but I don't know. I really need your help. I really would like, if any of you have any expertise here, to leave me some comments and let's have a discussion about it. I am going to submit this directly to Two Wheel Dyno Works to see what they have to say about it. I'm also going to put it out on the Ninja 1000 forum to get some discussion going there. I'm not sure, honestly. I just don't have the expertise or knowledge to say that everything's fine. I think the things that it tried to do, like smooth out the throttle response, engine braking was reduced, it was easier gliding through a corner, for example, and coming back on the throttle. Those things were all good. I have no idea if it improved power until I get it on a dyno and get the final numbers. But I'm just not sure where this is headed. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and cut this video off at this point because it's probably running a little long as it is. So if you have any questions or want to make a comment, please leave those below. Also, please consider subscribing to the channel if you find any of this information useful. And until next time, guys, thanks for watching.